Hey guys, welcome back, and this is going to be a tutorial which is slightly different. I'm going to show you regular mistakes that black women normally make, and it was inspired by Carly Bell's tutorial. Excuse my pepper grains, I know you're going to comment. I'm due to take out my hair, okay? Cut me some slack. Anyway, this is my good side and this is going to be my bad side. I'm going to start with just moisturizing my skin with some cocoa butter by The Body Shop mixed with a little bit of my primer. Exhibit A, the black pencil, and starting with my bad side, I'm going to show you how a lot of black women can do really harsh scouse brows that make them look like scarecrows. I absolutely hate it. It's very common, I've seen it. Black is not ideal to use. A brown pencil, however, is. So I'm using on my good side a brown pencil. Don't worry, I have a tutorial in my channel on how to get your brows on fleek. These are my magic concealers which everybody uses, so I'm demonstrating it even for the bad side. What we tend to do is use the actual concealer tube to take the concealer out, which it makes it a little bit difficult. And also sometimes we go several shades too lighter than our normal shade. But I'm going to use the same with adding a little bit of a darker concealer just to go around the good brow. And as you can see, it's slightly just a little bit toned down, which makes it easier to blend in the end. I highly recommend that you use a spoolie just to blend the tips so that it wouldn't be as harsh and scouse. So on my bad side, I'm demonstrating foundation, several shades lighter than my own. This is an NW45. And as you can see, it makes it have an ashy appearance, and it just looks totally uneven for my skin tone. A lot of black women do this, and honestly, even around the brows as well, people tend to leave out applying foundation in that area and blending down the concealer that they put to do their brows, and it's really not flattering. This is my good side, and I'm going to demonstrate with a more warmer tone foundation starting from my neck, which is really useful because it really blends into your chest as well. Then I'm just going to be applying the foundation all on my face evenly as possible, trying to make it not blotchy. Back to the brows, I'm actually emphasizing how much people go around with halo brows, and what that is that white cast around your brow. And back to my good side, what you want to do to hide that is just apply more foundation. Now, highlighting is something that definitely needs to be practiced and played with, but a typical thing women of color do is we probably use too much of a light concealer and even under eye setting powder to actually set it in, and when you take pictures, that cast really shows out. Now on my good side, I'm demonstrating a more warmer tone concealer, and I'm also demonstrating a more warmer tone setting powder as well. Now highlighting and contouring go pretty much well together, but I'm demonstrating how a black person typically does their nose. Just one straight line, just like that. But the real way you should be doing it is kind of blending it onto the sides, as our nose are normally more rounder, more chubbier, more broader. You might want to contour that entire area there, so it makes that side look smaller. And also, instead of having a highlight just straight under the eye, bring it onto the side of your nose as well. Now powder is what makes foundation look cakey, and if you use a sponge like this and you drag it just like this, kind of just smearing it on, that's what makes it become ashier and more cakier, and clearly it just makes it look unflattering. Now I'm using a warmer tone powder and a powder puff again, but this time I'm going to dab it on to the areas where I applied foundation, and it kind of just makes it have more of a natural finish. Also, do not forget to get a brush, either a clean brush or something with less product on it, and just blend, 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 and blend some more. So we're done with the base really. Just check out this side compared to the other side. Now for your eyeshadow, people tend to use a bit too much of a light eyeshadow for the brow bone highlight. And also, I think for the eyeshadow as well, people forget to use primers and bases and they just slabber it on without even applying a transition shade or even a bridge color. Now for my good eye, I'm applying a nude subtle tone, more warmer toned brow bone highlight. I'm also not forgetting to apply a primer and a base. And then I'm going to be applying a transition shade in between my crease area and also kind of like a bridge color. For my eyeshadow, I'm keeping that gold eyeshadow on the lid only. And then I'm going to be really getting a blending brush and blending it all out. It will make your life easier if you just used a liquid liner to apply a winged liner to your top lash line. Using a kohl pencil, unless you are actually a little bit more of an expert, it just makes room for mistakes. So try and use a liquid liner to make your wing line. Now for mascara, we always abandon our lower lash lines. Don't worry, I'm guilty as well, but it's something that we should try not to avoid. There's so much mascara mistakes that we can actually make, to be honest, like spider lashes and everything. And to be honest, these are general mistakes that all women make, not even just women of color. For my good size, I'm using a pen liner, which makes it so much easier, especially if you're a beginner, to actually do a winged line. It's more precise and a little bit more smooth and easier to control. Now on the water lash line, you want to pull down your eye and then apply the product. Also, back with a blending brush with your eyeshadow, don't forget to actually blend the inner corner. Lashes. Oh my god, this is a serious topic, ladies. Some of us are not waiting for the glue to dry, so it's honestly slipping off our actual eyelash, and that looks really, really bad. So what you need to do is have a little bit more patience, allow it to dry and get tacky before applying it onto your eyelashes. I'm gonna let it dry. No darling, you need to let it dry just before you pop them on, then it won't slip off. Now with your glue, you want to pull it onto the back of your hand or a surface, pick it up with your tweezer and then gradually apply it onto the lash. And then you want to wait for it to dry a good 30 seconds to even 1 whole minute, and then look down into a mirror and place the eyelashes right on your lash line, not your lashes itself, the line. Don't worry, these glues are they're actually created so that they wouldn't affect your eyes, so don't worry. Now of course you can go back with your mascara if that's how you do your lashes. Sometimes people do it before they apply their lashes, and you just want to blend it in together seamlessly. Now back to mistakes on women of color. When it comes to blush, you either put on too much like this, or you get the totally wrong shade and it becomes like this kind of peachy, ashy sort of. I wish I could have demonstrated, because both of them are quite necessary for me to demonstrate on the mistakes that we make. But you need to get a subtle tone. Now on my correct side, I'm just going to tap off the excess with the same blush, and I'm just going to gradually build it up onto the apples of my cheek and then drag towards my hairline. In some cases, some people just leave it on the apples, but that's fine. Contouring. Now it depends on your shade. Sometimes people get too much of a dark shade. Sometimes it can make you have kind of like a very burnt looking appearance, so you might want to consider the shade that you're going to use to contour, not too dark like this one. So I've taken a lot of the excess off, and I'm just going to apply on my good side now, more of a subtle tone contour, which obviously can be seen, but it doesn't scream I'm contouring. Okay, and lastly, the lips. Using nude shades like this, oh my days, this can be an issue because sometimes it looks like you've either had a sugary donut or your lips are chapped and it looks very ashy, unpleasant, and I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm blowing you kisses, but you get the point. I'm just going to demonstrate on how to wear a nude lip so it's more flattering for a woman of colour. You might want to use a brown lip liner to start off with. And then you want to be using, I'm using the same shade that I just used a minute ago, which it's not flattering. So I'm covering it with Touch by MAC, which is my go-to nude shade. And as you can see, it's just a little bit more sweeter, more subtle and more appealing. So this is my good side, and it's a little bit more warmer, more blended properly, and obviously more flattering. And of course, this is my bad side, slightly more harsh, a bit overdone. Less is more, less is more, honestly. And if we can get that, we're going to be going places with our makeup. Anyway, I hope I didn't offend anybody. If you notice my nails are battered, I think that's a mistake that I've made. Have a lovely day. I love you all, and you see me on my next vid.